This episode ain't about content. This episode is about concern. Today we're going to talk about acknowledging when something is wrong. Because in today's world, when somebody lose their voice, we may have to step up and play the voice for that person so they can see some type of justice. Their family can be at ease a little bit more in time of pain, if you understand what I'm saying. And I think this is a perfect example of a thin line between love and hate. Just because you love somebody don't mean hatred can't be attached to it. Just because you love somebody don't mean that they love you enough not to hurt you mentally or physically. I think what we're talking about today is a situation where you can love somebody so much and they can love you just as much, but so much that the love that they have for you can turn into rage, and that rage can turn them against you and lead them to harm you. So in today's episode, we got to talk about what's going on because the media ain't talking about it. So as bloggers and podcasters and social media content creators, we need to play the voice and step up and be the voice for this young lady that can't be the voice for herself at this time. So condolences to the family, prayers to the family, and hope we get justice for this lady we finna talk about. Only grown folks allowed. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Understand that when you subscribe to this channel, you are no longer a subscriber. You are a part of the family. So when I tell you I'm talking to my people, that's exactly what I mean. So let's get into it. Now, what really happened to Ashlee Jenae, a young TikTok and Instagram model / influencer, who I think her heart led her into a situation in a relationship with this man to where she became emotionally attached. And not just her, him as well. But in this case of Ashlee Jenae, with no media coverage, no news, broadcasting, what has happened to this lady? And I did a little bit digging to find out certain things, to understand why things are turning out and going the way they are going at the present time. That's not to say things won't change and we won't get justice for Ashlee Jenae. But at this time, it looked like it's a lot of corruption and a lot of things being swept up under the rug. And once again, we have to step up and play the voice for somebody who no longer has a voice. But we also talking about somebody that come from a family that love her. So they need justice as well, right? So to understand who Ashlee is and the situation that Ashlee was in. Now, this is her fiance, Joe McCann, who's allegedly like a multi-million-dollar Bitcoin type of entrepreneur, right? So apparently he's well off. So I'm just going to assume that she's been living a life that exceeds the life that she was able to provide for herself, being that this man is high value. But I'm also going to dig into the fact that this man is rich. And we also know sometimes being rich ties into corruption. Now, we do know that she took a trip with her boyfriend at the time. He was a boyfriend at the time before he went on this vacation with this lady. And while they're in Tanzania, they spend their vacation in Tanzania, in a whole other country, right? Experiencing the wildlife, enjoying their love life, and trying to further their relationship. So what we see right here, it looks like a happy couple, right? They in Tanzania right now. Now, I don't know if they at a zoo or something, because going by the scenery of where they at right now, they walking with this white tiger, white lion, whatever it is, right? I wouldn't have been walking with this. I wouldn't have been walking with that shit at all. But they look happy. He's proposing. She's clearly accepting the proposal. So now he's going from boyfriend to fiance. I want y'all to look at size and height. This ain't no little dude. He kind of tall and he looked kind of aggressive. So apparently, after all we seeing in this right here, allegedly they have a falling out at the resort. So bad that resort staff had to intervene and separate the two. Place both of these people Mind you, this is a couple. They placed both of these people, him in a separate room. Mind you, they staying together at this resort in a whole nother country. But the falling out is so bad that resort staff intervened and put both of these, him in a separate room and her in a separate room. Now, apparently for them to go as far as to do that, when they know they rooming together, they know they probably there together, they probably explained this. You can clearly see this is a situation, a relationship disagreement that is going on inside this resort that you're seeing. These ain't two strangers. So to separate them and put them in separate rooms is already a red flag, because they saw something that was intense enough to say, hey, we got to separate them, like really separate them, because he kind of riled up. So ain't no telling if he was getting aggressive as he was arguing with his lady. So the spectators in the resort, being the staff, seeing this and seeing how intense it is, intervene. For them to not just cool and calm the situation down, but separate them, put them in different rooms, let you know this was a serious situation, right? Now, keep in mind, he proposed to her on her birthday. Now, this woman is living her dreams, not only for her birthday, but she's finna take another step into a whole nother walk of life with this man as he proposes and she accepts. And immediately after that, y'all have a falling out that's so aggressive that resort staff have to intervene and really separate y'all. And then after this, they find her in bad condition to the point where she don't make it. So when this happens, he don't notify the family as soon as it happened. He comes back home, comes back to America without her. And when the questions from other people start to come, now he wants to explain why he only made it back. When if you love her, that's to love her family too. So if you was concerned enough for the person that you loved and something happened to her while y'all in another country, the first thing you would be doing is notifying her family so they could also know what's going on. And the fact that you didn't lets me fucking know. And nigga, I'm not Magnum PI, Sherlock Holmes, none of these private investigating niggas. But like I said, I did a little bit of digging. And what I did find out, because it don't make no sense why it's no media coverage about what happened to this lady, whether it be in this country or in their country. We should know about this, but the fact that we have to see it over social media coming from content creators and YouTubers and podcasters is the only way this is circulating through the algorithms of all these platforms. Is crazy to me. And when I went to look for news clips and I found none. So then I begin to think even more about what's so wrong about this situation. Because if that was a me, whether I stayed here and this particular situation happened, or I went to another country and this particular situation happened, I would be in jail, most likely, right? So the fact that he was able to come back home and live his life without his future wife and told nobody till he came back made me dig a little bit. So then I went and looked through what's going on in Tanzania as far as abuse to women and DV. Like, what's the strictness on that, right? Because I do know in other countries, women don't have the same amount of rights as they do in the US. So in a lot of these other countries, women live with their head down and their voice low. We don't live in one of them countries. But evidently in Tanzania, 40 to 50% of Tanzanian women experience some type of trauma, some type of SA, some type of DV, whether it be relationship-wise, dating, or just completely being snatched up against your will. 40 to 50% of Tanzanian women going through this is what I want y'all to understand. So for an American woman to go to another country with a rich man, lose her life in a country where if you ain't just caught red-handed, you probably ain't going to jail. Keep in mind, this is a multi-millionaire Bitcoin entrepreneur, Joe McCann. And this is where money and corruption factor in, right? Because over there, where if you ain't caught red-handed, they concern for these types of allegations ain't heavy as it would be over here. And him being a big enough influence individually, financially, in this situation, in these other countries, having this type of financial stability, you can get a lot of things swept under the rug. And I believe in this situation, it's a lot of things they trying to sweep under the rug. And I believe the engine for the reason why they trying to sweep everything under the rug is because of him. Now everybody innocent till proven guilty. But I also been looking at some of these pictures on the internet, and when I look at this dude, and I'm a good judge of character. I come from the streets. I've been to prison multiple times. I've been through a lot of traumatic experiences in this thing we call life, right? So learning how to read people became a part of survival for me. So when I really look into this dude, and you look into this dude's eyes, you can tell it's some darkness in there that you might not necessarily understand, but that's not a good thing. And once again, this is a big man. He towers over her. She had to get on her tiptoes to kiss this man. Look at this. But I also want to show you something. I want you to look at this. Look at his face. And this is what I mean by something dark in there that I don't think that Ashlee necessarily saw and understood before she fell for this dude. And that's important when we talk about meeting people and being with people, especially women, because in most cases, women are the vulnerable one. So when women fall for the man, they may overlook a lot of things, including red flags, because their emotions are so tied in that they feel like they can either change it or he gonna change it and it'll get better, or it won't happen to me because I'm different. But one thing about individuals and you living with darkness and some type of evil inside you, you got to learn how to deal with that and fight your own demons before you correctly love somebody else. And maybe that's what we're talking about. Somebody else dealing with some demons that he never been able to conquer. And now his love for this woman drove him to do something that I'm sensing he gonna regret. And if you look in this picture, this is well before this situation happened. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, because to me, this nigga 100% looks like he would do something like this. Now, keep in mind, for people that don't know what I'm talking about, don't know what's going on, Ashlee Jenae went to another country with this man, to a resort. He proposed. She accepted. Hours later, she's gone. And the way he's perceiving the situation to go, or some people that see it from the outside looking in perceive it, is, oh, well, maybe she was that stressed that she took her own life in another country, away from her family, around this nigga. I don't believe that. I believe they went over there with good intentions. What really happened for him to be enraged, to be so aggressive at that resort staff intervenes and separated them, put them in two different rooms? It was serious. And maybe even when they separated them and put them in two different rooms, he still couldn't conquer his anger. And Ashlee being gone could be the outcome. Now, keep in mind, look at this nigga face, man. And then you seriously tell me you couldn't see him tying a rope or tying something around somebody's neck, anybody damn neck, and leaving him dangling for something. And leaving him dangling from something. He has that dark demeanor, that dark look to him. And for this to happen as fast as it did and so sudden as it did, you got to also factor in, y'all got to pay attention to what's been going on, right, in the world. I don't know if y'all remember the story about the man that took his wife on a vacation, and they was in the mountains or something. And he hit her in the back of the head and then tried to toss her off the mountain. But it was people up there, they seen her, so evidently he gets caught for it. So people do have these evil type of intentions, bruh. And love will make you blind to things that you should be paying attention to, signs that you should be reading, because those signs could be detrimental to whether you live or you no longer living. And for women, it's a lot of Ashlee Jenaes out there that fall for men that you really don't know. And because you misread, didn't read at all, or acknowledged the red flags when he presented them, you went and endured so much trauma, maybe even lost your life behind love that was blind. And once again, this ain't content. This is fucking concern. I got 2 daughters. I got 2 sisters. And even though my sister grown, I would prefer to know who she deal with than to never know who she deal with, because you never know where you end up with this person. And if we don't know who you mess with, then how do we know who you was with when something happened to you? Don't think for 1 second Ashlee jumped on this airplane expecting to lose her life in another country when she is supposed to be celebrating her life in another country. So once again, we got to be the voice, because Ashlee Jenae no longer has a voice to speak and claim the justice she deserved. Her family don't get that neither at all. And it still seems like they ain't getting no justice right now, which makes this situation worse. And they also made a public statement like I don't get it how the family don't get notified, don't get no real answers. And if you're not getting notified and you don't get no real answers, you ain't getting no real justice. And this is their bloodline. This is their sister. This is their child. This is their grandchild. Now, her family spoke out too, and I'm gonna play the video and y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Subscriptions over here don't make you a subscriber, a person that's just viewing the video. This makes us family. So I need all my people to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hype this video up, spread the message. If you're a content creator, create the message. We need justice for this. You see what I'm saying? So I'm about to play this video, and this is her mother speaking out after this situation. And this is how you know, like, it's really real, because just imagine the pain that they having to feel because of this. Just imagine that.
She's no longer here with us, and we're trying to find out why.
On April 5th, influencer Ashlee Robinson, who goes by Ashlee Jenae on Instagram, was celebrating her 31st birthday in Zanzibar, Tanzania. She was on the vacation with her boyfriend of 1 year, who popped the question just 2 days before.
She was starting the next chapter of her life. She called us and FaceTimed us to share with us her travel.
Ashlee's mother says she never would have expected that less than a week later, her daughter would be dead. On April 8th, she says Ashlee called saying she and her fiance got into an argument and were moved to separate rooms. The next day, she received another call, this time from her fiance.
He told me that Ashlee did something to herself and that she was being taken to the hospital. I said, what happened, when? And he told me it had been 11 hours prior.
Hours later, the luxury resort the couple was staying at called saying that Ashlee passed away. According to the hospital's medical report, Ashlee had an unidentified mark around her neck. They wrote, according to her husband, he found she hung herself on the door with several question marks.
Sometime Jill went back to the room with security, and that's how they found her.
Ashlee was also taken to a second hospital, who listed her cause of death as cerebral hypoxia by strangulation and suffocation.
She's never done anything that would ever lead me to believe that she would do something to harm herself.
And the family says next they are considering going to Zanzibar themselves to try to get as many answers as possible. Now, we also tried to directly contact Ashlee's fiance, the resort, and the embassy, but we did not hear back. I'm live in the Satellite Center. Cheyenne Karan, Channel 6, Action News. Back to you.
This is sad. Now, you can't, so much so, it's so bad that they thinking about going to this country to really get to the bottom of this and get some answers, because it's that necessary, because they're not getting no real answers from where they at, from nobody. You just heard the lady say the fiance not responding, police not responding. So whoever responsible just scot-free, and nobody, even authorities, don't give a damn. And this ain't the activities of a nigga that love you, neither. Women, I need y'all to understand this shit, because you're gone and he over here. Listen to me. If I love you and we go somewhere and I lose you while we there, it's nothing in my heart that's gonna allow me to just come right back home without you. And I don't have no answers. So for this big Brutus the Barber beefcake shaped ass nigga to come his ass back to America without you lets me know more than I need to know. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Only Grown Folks Allowed, the only place you can come for celebrity news and grown folk conversation, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, become family, not just a subscriber, and help spread this message. Not just this video, every video you see where they talking about Ashlee Jenae, until we get some justice behind it, because her voice is no longer. So somebody has to substitute that till we see justice. And we can't continue to keep letting people get away with heinous acts like this, whether he did it or not. Whoever done it need to be in jail, in that cell. Only Grown Folks Allowed. I'm out of here.